Hi everyone, welcome back to the Twitch booth here live at EGX, day one, live from Birmingham. I'm joined by Nysira, obviously, and I'm pleased to say I'm joined by James and Cameron.
Hello.
Not James Cameron, we're not seeing anything to do with that, but James and Cameron, and we're here to talk about the Black Death.
Certainly are. Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for joining us, and this is a game that's in early access at the moment, but it's available now, and it's a very interesting kind of setting and tone, and why don't you explain a bit more about what we can expect from this game?
Sure. So, I mean, it's a survival game at its core, set in 14th century Europe, where the Black Death is not only the title of the game, it's also rapid within the world. So you can get disease, you can get infected, you can pass it to other players. The world is rampant with it. So we've kind of gone for a very kind of hard-looking, kind of almost depressing feel.
You can see it in the trailer already.
We're not holding back. Like there's the hanging bodies, the stockades and stuff like that. Primarily, we're profession-based as well, which I like to think is our unique spin on the survival genre. So but like an everyday hero vibe. So you got your peasant, you got your beggar. Got your militiamen, as you see here in the professional.
Yeah, I think we're going to go over to some game footage here now. We're actually going to be playing it live here, and
because you can play really like a lot of different ways. Like you go into like being an awesome person, or it's like all different ways. But that's the profession way, and that's what I want to hear.
Well, so we were really keen on kind of like roleplay, because roleplay is a big thing in survival. Even if people kind of don't play roleplay themselves, you kind of end up roleplaying in the end. And we kind of want to
facilitate,
facilitate and gently push players into those things. So if you start off as a peasant or a beggar or a blacksmith, you kind of have that mindset. It's like, oh, so that's kind of who I am.
Yeah, I'd 100% go begger to start with. Change, just completely RP it. And I actually played a little bit of it, and there's actually certain abilities based on the class you choose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Allows players to throw gold at you. That sounds amazing for you, Spam.
That's just Twitch Life 101, isn't it? Just let people throw money at me.
The biggest interesting thing I found from the profession is actually the killing on sight behavior that usually comes with a survival game has almost disappeared in some ways, because one, it's a melee game, so you can't get headshotted from 1,000 meters, but primarily because the roles bounce off each other. Like, not everyone's a crafter, not everyone's a fighter, because the different professions are balanced. They almost work together, like, naturally.
Yeah, definitely. We really wanted to push having an economy, so you didn't have to PvP all the time. Like, we wanted to facilitate kind of like positive player-to-player playing. So, a monk is really useful to guys who've got infection. A merchant is good for trading and crafting stuff a lot better than the other guys. A peasant is like your food guy. So if you run out of like food pretty quickly. Yeah. So you have a guy who's like making food and really good at gathering. He's a massive asset to your team.
Yeah.
And I guess that promotes natural playthrough styles rather than like forcing a role on someone. It's something you're going to do naturally and gravitate towards just by playing it. And
you progress as well. Like you progress in that sort of style. If you like combat, you go through from militia to like blacksmith, so you're crafting those combat weaponry, and then eventually becoming a knight.
Yeah.
Because you have to survive, but is it a way of like you die and the game ends, or how? In what way kind of survival?
There's a few things. I mean, you lose the items on your body, but progression in terms through our skill tree is kept. So any skills you've unlocked, like other professions like the blacksmith, you keep that, and you can keep on progressing.
So we were very keen on putting in sort of role-playing, RPG elements into the game. So we've got skill trees, and that kind of takes the sting out of dying in the end. So the problem with some survival games is you play for ages, you die, and you're like, oh man, kind of wasted. But if you respawn and you unlock the skill before you die, then you've got that to play with, or you unlock a new class, then you can kind of jump on and play with those guys in the end.
Well, we'll try a merchant maybe. They're quite a nice crafting kind of feel, like it's something that some players might recognize in terms of gameplay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And setting up a shop is always nice in town, and making some gold, buying a house. Yeah. You don't really construct a house in ours. It's like a mortgage. It will be almost a medieval mortgage system where you buy a house, and then eventually we'll have like rent systems. So you have to maintain your keep. Build a bed, all that kind of stuff. Do a bit of decor. A bit of candles here or there. That kind of stuff.
And just completely create the own world as you see it, completely involved in that role of a merchant. I still think I want to be a beggar and just sit on the streets and just, hello, excuse me. But, that's the great thing is, you'll see different people take it different ways and take their role in their own different direction.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you're a beggar, because now I'm thinking about becoming Spam, can you do much then? Because you're begging for money, but you're still able to do like a lot of things then.
So the beggar's a really interesting precursor to the outlaw, the almost criminal take in the game, which is actually a new profession we're showing in the build here at EGX. Okay. So the beggar has some stuff in his skill tree that's a little bit on the dodgy side. Shady. So like dirty fighting, like learning how to make a shank and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Nice.
And then that obviously evolves into the outlaw, which is straight up pickpocketing and steal from other players.
Okay.
we have a bounty system as well. So if you keep, breaking the law, you'll build up a lot of bounty, and knights in the server are going to like kill you and get paid. So you have to kind of watch that.
Okay.
And I got other NPC guards. I think I just heard a wolf.
Something happens.
Yeah.
Run.
Oh.
So we're not a combat class.
Oh, there's someone hanging on
someone
the left
hanging
side.
there.
Yeah. Oh, two even.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're lootable and stuff. You can.
Oh,
Okay,
get the money.
An awful onion.
Yeah, I think we were actually getting murdered.
Oh wow, you can't do much. You just you're dead.
So like in terms of that, we're a merchant. We'll wander around in the dark forest on our own.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have the militiamen hanging around, or like be a bit more prepared before wandering off. We have safe zones. Like we don't call them safe zones, but their cities are natural and they have NPC guards and stuff like that. So a merchant's kind of good starting off there before wandering off into the
like this, because you can't fight them. You just you have no weapon, nothing.
Every class, every profession can fight, but you have to obviously craft it and get it.
Yeah, get better.
So it probably wasn't a good idea to try and get that orange, that one orange.
Is that questionable orange? You said so.
Yeah.
The questionable orange.
We were hungry.
Orange followed by a questionable choice.
You try peasant, I guess. See a little bit of peasant.
And the one thing that, you see all the different classes here, and they've all got a little like kind of story behind them.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that really excites me about this game is the setting itself. The Black Death. It's something that is kind of fascinating part of history. And the way different people interact with each other, the way different people would treat you if you're a peasant or a beggar or a militiaman or a middle class person, and that's something I think you're going to see the players naturally gravitate towards.
Yeah, I think we're always trying to support like you become a better peasant, and so there's almost like a interim of like a competition within each profession. You got a peasant there, he's a farmer, he's really good at farming. Well, that peasant's really good at mining, and they kind of like take their own paths even within the professions, which I quite like as well. So you even get like competitive peasants.
Yeah, you got to be the best peasant you can be.
To supply that bread, man. Yeah.
So I mean, we can show you an example of the skill tree system and how that applies.
Awesome.
So we've got titles linking to that. We have titles, so you can be. So this guy, woodsman, you can unlock the title of woodsman. So you don't just have peasant above your head. So if you want to specialize, if you want to be known as the best. Like weaponsmith or wood chopper on the surfer, then you can, if you unlock it, then you can do that, and then as people see you, they can be like, oh, I know that guy's a peasant, and he's that's who he likes to play.
You can upgrade your weight, how much weight you can carry, so you become famous for that guy who can carry all that ore of the gold mine. It needs to be protected though, but he's good at doing that kind of job.
And that kind of like. So, I mean, you can play completely by yourself, but that independency between classes is something we wanted to try and do. So, peasants can carry a lot of stuff, whereas militia are obviously better at protecting, and then a merchant is a far better crafter. So they kind of like, it's almost like, the circle of life, and then the second tier of classes just add more kind of elements of that. And as you work through these initial classes, you start to learn skills and sort of things that you unlock in the next class. So it all kind of like flows. We want that like nice flow between classes and like interactions and stuff.
Yeah. It's a very ambitious thing to try as well. Obviously, you see a lot of survival games these days that just kind of like, this is your character, go collect, go build, go craft. With this, you've got that whole survival mechanic, but there's so much more to it. There's so much more, idiosyncrasy to each class, and where that class can take you and how the classes will interact with each other. I mean, is that something you're really seeing? Obviously, we're in early alpha at the moment, but as the game progresses, I'm sure people are going to play it in ways you can't even imagine.
Yeah, I mean, like, we just try to keep that simple, like, gameplay pillar you almost saw, like, a resource gatherer, a competitive guy, and a crafter. And, people seem to really take it, because people naturally fall into those roles anyway when they're playing big survival games. So, I think even at early stages, I feel like people are already getting involved, especially when you say the beggar. The amount of people, as soon as we released that beggar profession, there's 20 beggars bothering militiamen just for that one gold piece.
Was it Shadowfax, or there was a Twitcher who we didn't know he was a Twitcher at the time, but we just put the patch out and we were playing, and this guy came up and he was probably like using voice role playing,
that kind of stuff.
And like we just all gathered around one of the computers and we were like, man, that's funny. That is exactly what we wanted to happen.
So I see the boss there. The blue one is filling up if you're getting stuff.
Yeah, so that is our experience, which feeds into the skill sort of system. Exponentially more difficult, so early skills are easy to get, so you can get stuff.
You get XP from anything, crafting, killing, gathering.
And you kind of need to check if you're thirsty or you need food. You have to do something about it because you probably will die, maybe.
That's exactly it. I mean, it kind of all feeds back into like you getting the Black Death easier.
Yeah.
If you don't look after yourself, it's going to take
you get ill and
you get ill and stuff like that. So
and also, are you waving?
I'm having a little wave.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, there's a nice cotton bush there.
So we tried to add a little bit of character to each of the classes. I mean, it's all still a work in progress because we're developing as we're going. But like the the blacksmith is more of a badass. He's been through war, so you know he's
exactly.
like this.
Covered wars.
The peasant is a little hunched from his days in the field.
I always try crafting, or I show the item quality stuff. So we've put in like a quality system of items, like you see basic cotton. Because you're in a world that's fairly safe, the resources are quite not as great as the ones out in the in the dangerous areas. So it kind of pushes players into danger to get the amazing cotton, so they make that amazing cloth, which make amazing tunics, which you can sell for a lot more. That kind of almost, I guess, Skyrim-esque kind of economy. You know, like the item is worth a lot because it gives you a lot. Like it's as simple as that. And we always try like cotton swabs. It's good for healing, but it's going to be a terrible cotton swab. Well, we're trying to craft it right now, so we got a couple of basic cottons here, and there's a chance of success there in crafting because of it's only basic. So we could feel this kind of crafting.
And that is linked to the type of character you are. So more combative kind of characters aren't built to craft. So, they're going to fail a lot, and it kind of, again, that interdependency.
And that will promote the natural interaction between players. Obviously, you might have a militiaman who wants to have some snacks, and he team up with someone who can make them. And then maybe you have a beggar who goes out during the day while the other two are working to get some normal gold. And that will allow for a really kind of, interesting gameplay experience.
There's a lot of, happening right now where a militia would find a piece of iron, and they'd be like, rather than selling it, he'd give it to a blacksmith. And you make me a sword, and I'll protect you. There's a lot of that happening.
Awesome.
Yeah, rather than wasting it, but failing
so
a
a lot of people will work together. And
that's what I liked about our game. It drives a lot of
we can try. We got a 51% chance, so it's a pretty good chance.
Because a lot of times when there's a survival game, it's about like, I hope you die first. But this one is really like people going to help each other. And that is a difference than a big one.
And then there's some of my favourite gaming moments, is those moments that go beyond the kind of, the overt mechanics of the game. Those interactions, one of my favourite things is, emoting, just waving or dancing. And, you see that in a lot of games. And obviously, those kind of moments can naturally lend itself towards this experience because you have those different roles which you inhabit.
Yeah, especially in the era, if you want to be act like a bit like a minstrel and you want to go around singing and dancing, that fits the history so much.
Oh my God, just the minstrel taking their mind off stuff and creating songs about the Black Death and Ring of Roses and all that stuff.
So from that one we got some nasty cotton swabs. So basic stuff makes basic things, and obviously they're not going to heal as good as what are the best ones called?
Yeah, legendary cotton swab.
Legendary cotton swab.
But we can also try and boost that to get something a lot better. So we can go crazy. We can push ourselves.
And
really
you can determine what risk you want to take.
So 5% chance is not very likely.
Could be a great cotton swab though. Nah.
And then you've lost.
You lost the stuff, wasted. So you imagine the tiers, the difference. Like the blacksmith are making swords, require metal and leather and wood. And you fail that sword, you're like, that kind of stuff. You want to play it safe maybe, or maybe you need better resources, improves your crafting chance, you need to go into danger, you need militia buddies to protect you, all that kind of stuff.
Unlock more skills that increase your chance.
We have skills that increase your crafting ability.
And you can see, who are we playing as? Well, peasant. So peasant doesn't have a lot of crafting again, they're more gathering. But you can see the kind of things they can unlock later on.
Jam.
Very peasantry life stuff.
Gotta love that jam. But I think, again, it lends itself to the more kind of interesting gameplay. The fact that these things aren't just kind of do this to get success, you do that to build that, and you build that to get this thing. You kind of got to discover and learn it for yourself. And it's something, it's an obviously in the industry term, that emergent narrative. It's something that you kind of inform yourself, which is super exciting from a gameplay perspective, because it's not something where I feel like I'm just filling a role that's been made for me. I'm defining my own role.
It's like a sandbox. Right? You kind of playing your own style. And that's the great thing about early access. The amount of ideas we get in terms of what we want to facilitate. Like the whole new kind of the bounty system, the tweaks we've been doing, where you can go and you can actually take someone's papers and see how much money they're worth in terms of a bounty, like how many laws. That's literally just the community. Like I want to be able to punish people who break the law. Like we'll give that chance.
Could you go to a monk to heal yourself up or make yourself better?
So the monk's really good at preventing the Black Death from happening. He creates a sort of rubs and solvents. Once you get the Black Death though, it's kind of a permanent infliction.
Okay,
so you kind of want to go to the monk before you start touching rotten food and eating dodgy items and things like that.
So this update, what we got here is an update that we're currently working on, and it's going to be out next week and a half, I think. And what we did is we've been reworking our sickness system. So originally we just had a single sickness system, and it wasn't really cutting it. But now what we've done is we've pushed things to symptoms and states. So kind of like other survival games in terms of being cold, fatigued. That's kind of quite generic on that front.
Need resting and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But what we've done is we've taken it further, and if you're in those states, you're more likely to pick up sicknesses. So and our sicknesses are things like headaches, sore throat,
Migraines.
coughing, migraines, and these things have negative status effects on you. So it's going to make your life harder doing that.
And you can spread these to other players, right? If you get a cold and you start sneezing, you'll start getting a cold, and then the Black Death will spread faster.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
So
That's really nice.
If someone sneezes in this game, I'm killing them dead. I ain't taking no
don't take
chances.
it.
Trust me, it's happened a lot. Yeah.
It's like any symbol of the Black Death, I'm running and killing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to die.
I think we've got Wolf here. Might get back into that. We'll plan those
An
crops to get
NPC
there.
will kill him then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go hit the pub.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're at the
Because that's
tavern.
what you need to do in medieval times.
So let's be a beggar and live in a pub. That's
Shut
what
that door,
I'm
son.
going to do.
So
We're thirsty, right?
yeah, we're thirsty. Let's drink some of that dirty water we just picked up.
Lovely.
And you can hear the wolf outside. So there we go. So
Oh, now you've got infection.
so we
increase.
picked up some dirty water.
And we drank it.
Yeah, it wasn't,
From a pud.
it wasn't a
puddle.
very good idea.
No.
So you know you want to try and find clean water sources.
Yeah.
Chicken's having a good time. He's just chilling out. And
Chicken's loving it.
Are you going to see on your character that you're like ill or that you don't feel well, like at the character itself?
Yeah,
the
so
way of
you'll
how
actually,
it's walking.
you'll actually
or?
grow the very infamous
Oh, sorry.
kind of
Yeah.
balls in your neck and
Okay.
stuff. Maybe we'll drink loads of dirty water and we'll see
Do it.
how sick we can actually get.
It's growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pulses. What are they called? I forget the word.
Kind of the boils.
The boils and legions.
That's right, yeah, that's right.
that were synonymous with the Black Death.
Yeah. It's very slow progression in terms of how you visually look. So you start off like getting the sweats, you get very desaturated, you lose the colour in your face.
Oh my God, the
It's
wolf.
He's
still
back
there.
after us.
It's more of
Water.
that. Steal from a well. So I mean, lots of items around the town are like, well, we call them stealables. So if you take them without paying for them, the NPC guards protect you from other aggressive players, but also protect you from yourself if you're a criminal, that kind of stuff. So this is a merchant here at NPC.
Yeah, so it's a great example of the economy kind of stuff we're putting in. So again, it's not all PvP. It can be other ways.
Yeah.
Everything has a value. You're keen on that, Cameron, right? So you pick something up, you can sell it. Some things don't have value. As a trader, you can sell your things to people for different amounts.
Yeah.
So you can grab fish from the sea, go somewhere where people are hungry, and be like,
Cook it,
hey,
sell it.
I got loads of fish. Let's do this.
I mean, you can play without ever doing combat, or you can play without ever doing certain styles, and live it the way you'd want to live it if you were in the Black Death.
It's not going well with you.
No, we took a lot of hits.
Yeah.
So we were trying to make places where to kind of promote roleplay again.
Nope,
Like, so this is
still
our
there.
arena. Oh, I hear him
Yeah.
running around somewhere. So this is an arena we do on Fridays. We do Dev Fight Fridays. So we try and get people to come fight.
Awesome.
Really?
So you're more than welcome
That
to come
is
join
nice.
us.
And 1,000
Just
gold.
beg. I'll just beg in the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, people try it, yeah. So
Anyone want some popcorn?
Yeah. But like all the role playing, we try to tie back into the mechanics. So if you want to sit on that bench, you're technically resting, so you're fatigued.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we're trying to make sure any type of role playing that you're doing, like when you're begging, you're getting gold.
Yeah.
It's still coming back into the system.
If
so.
you're getting attacked because of the wolf, normally when you're walking away, it ends. But this one keeps on coming.
Yeah, he's a
So-
little aggressive.
I feel like the guards have been killed as well. There's like 5 guards usually in the market.
Okay.
Because it's a persistent world, you kind of get like, every server almost has a different feel.
Yeah.
Like, if players are killing the bandits and they're not getting to town, then it's quite peaceful. But if it's just let rampant, wolves will eat the guards and then...
someone's been growing loads of crops outside the town and stuff.
Yeah.
So the place we're in at the moment is our big city. This is kind of our safe zone. So it's got more guards, lots of housing. Our housing is, we wanted to make it built by us. So you as a player don't sort of handcraft it. We build them. You buy them almost like real property, like you said earlier.
And they range in cost and space. You can place the oven in there, your cooking utilities and stuff. So if you can only afford a very small hut, you can only fit a very small oven in there. So it's all like that progression in houses as well.
Yeah.
You do keep the houses though when you die. So it's almost an inheritance type of system. You come back as your daughter or son, and it's my house now.
Okay.
And say you were to move server, would you keep progress on other servers, or is it unique to each server you go on?
So that's something that we have tried to balance because we had a lot of people jumping between servers and causing anarchy.
Yeah.
So currently the new build is you progress within that server. But things like XP, like skill trees you keep.
Okay.
But houses are server bound.
And
So you own that house in that server.
are we going to have this game only on PC?
So we're in early access at the moment, so we're really trying to hammer it to make it as good as it can be. In the future maybe, but for now like
PC.
just
PC only. Okay.
work out any kinks and just keep making it better with the help of everybody.
Okay.
So let's go try and fight something. I'm not doing too well.
So you fight barehanded.
So well,
Or you
I
have
made a
something.
stick.
I made
You
a
got a
stick weapon.
stick. All right.
Also, to help stop griefing, we in towns for the non-combative guys, we made it so the guards will attack you if you pull out your weapons.
Okay.
So I might try that. I don't know how well it's gonna go.
The guards seem
Already
to be a bit
injured.
laxdaisic today. Let the wolf attack. Get
I
your
think they're all in
weapons
the bar,
out.
really. I don't see
Yeah,
them.
literally all the guards have
All
been
the-
killed. There's one archer there protecting that beggar. Good job there, buddy.
Oh God. there
Maybe
he
he's
is, tied.
interrogating him.
But he's not doing anything to the wolf.
Yeah. You should be.
He should be.
Oh, one hanging again. Yeah, that you get used to that.
I mean, how much research did you do into the history of the Black Death? Obviously, it's something we kind of learned a little bit about at school. It's something we, people know about, and obviously it was this, major, wipe out of the population and the sickness and the marking of the doors. And how much has informed the world that you've created?
I mean, like Google has been the biggest help for us in terms of like just sanity check a lot of stuff. We have some things like oranges weren't around, cotton weren't really around.
Okay.
So we have done some artistic licenses.
Yeah, of course.
Because flax was the main make for linen back then, but players
What
tend
is-
to find
what
out
is flax?
Like what is flax?
What is flax?
We're cotton. It's like I know what it looks like.
Yeah.
I can know what I'm going to make out of it. So yeah, we have kept some stuff accurate, like armor and leathers and stuff.
It's that tough balance between like realism and realistic, which gritty realism that we're aiming for, and game mechanics that actually work.
Yeah.
Because like we've gone through a few combat systems trying to get different things to work, but they just didn't work. We went for like realistic, stances and attacking and stuff, but it just wasn't working. So it's trying to find that nice balance between two. I mean, we've got purple carrots in, so that's
Purple carrots, so
carrots were
realistic
purple
carrots.
back in the day.
Nice.
And the orange ones.
Bleed
that's-
purple, Twitch.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
So these guards are hanging out
So-
here.
Oh, you!
So hey, buddy.
Oh, he
Run.
doesn't like you there. Oh.
Yeah,
No,
well, pull the
sorry,
weapon
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So it's like, put it away, son, otherwise you get yourself hurt.
Yeah.
Get
Don't
yourself
want to
out.
get yourself hurt, son. You only damage yourself, man.
Oops.
I think we might actually
Awful
eat up here.
apple.
Actually, we'll have a go at fighting a guard. Kind of like, we like showing us show the effectiveness.
Yeah,
of, like,
just to see how it works.
defending you from a player.
I'll go plant my
Oh, you
seeds.
plant some seeds
plant my
first.
seeds really quickly.
Plant
So
some seeds and go for a fight.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like a Friday night out in Essex.
peasant thug life.
Yeah, it's dog life.
So-
I know we're in very early access at the moment, so the game's going to develop quite a lot. Is there anything you've got planning you can reveal to us, or anything we can look forward to in the future, or do you want to kind of keep that?
So yeah, the actual the building your beds and stuff like that is something actually we're working on right now. Like house customization is a big thing. Like having it. Was that you planting a bed?
I planted a bed. That's
It will grow into a huge duvet, maybe.
Yeah.
and then mainly iron out these kind of odd bugs here or there. That's the biggest thing with early access, right?
Yeah.
The community helping us find and establish. We're only a small team of 7, so any help we get in terms of bug hunting is seriously appreciated.
Well, I think that's the thing. There's a lot of early access games these days, and a lot of people see it kind of negative. They see it as people just want to get the money and run and get thing. But for me, it's more about it's a chance to inform the game process, become part of it, and you get so much feedback that you wouldn't be able to get with just normal testing or bug testing.
Yeah,
definitely.
Any feedback's great feedback. I was a bandit running across the field over
Yes.
there. He's trying to intercept you running over there.
Yeah.
And obviously, how many classes have we got? I think it's about 15 different classes.
So currently we have 9.
9.
But you see the page here, that'll be completely filled up.
Yeah.
So I think we've got like 4 more to go.
4 more to go.
Yeah, so,
So,
we got the sort of top tier professions of the different guys. That's our sort of end
That's the
goal
next
for
kind
And
of-
then within each class, you've got these different divergent skill trees that determine.
Exactly. Almost 10 within a profession.
Okay, so if I was a beggar, I can go towards being a villain, or I can just stay a beggar. I'm obsessed with this beggar,
He
aren't
is.
I? I'm actually
Oh, no.
obsessed.
He will play that.
It went down
Yeah.
surprisingly well. Like
Yeah.
we kind of thought of it as a funny class, but then everyone's playing it. Oh,
Yeah, it's just as soon as when I was playing it, I was like looking through the class. You got merchant, you got a fight. Oh, a beggar, and you can beg for gold. I was like, yep, that's me, a Twitch streamer. That would do.
We managed
I
the
don't
stamina
think this
here.
will end well.
And if you were to manage to kill this guy, could you loot him, get his
Yeah,
stuff, and get?
Oh.
Whoa!
Yeah. I mean, you only had like 1 stick. Kind of hard.
So we wanted that to be a thing as well. So if in real life, if you go up to a dude and you have a stick and he's got an axe,
Yeah.
you kind of guess what's going to happen.
You're gonna
or he's
struggle.
Yeah.
Like armor's a big thing. You put it on, it actually makes a
So
difference.
we have full loot system, so again, that kind of give that Skyrim feeling. What you see, you can take if you
Yeah.
can manage it. Yeah.
You know, are you seeing any more classes? Obviously, we mentioned the beggar like 100 times already today. But, you know, are people gravitating towards the merchant or the knight?
Hunter's quite a popular one, I feel.
Yeah.
You know, just living out in the forest, crafting a bow, hunting deer, getting the meat, making leather. It's quite a good, you know, economy there to be on your own and have that hardcore survival experience.
Yeah. Interestingly, like people tend to quite evenly spread across them as well. Like, so you know, we have a bug report thing, and people tell us what classes they play. Pretty much thirds, like all the way around. When we had just the initial classes coming out. But yeah, I think it's because we went for what kind of players, the roles people play. So between the three of us, Mitchell, me, and Cameron, when we were initially coming up with it, we were like, I love peasant. Minecraft, I'll just hammer the floor. Yeah. I'll make that ground flat. I'll get rid of that mountain. Yeah. Mitchell loves making a shop in like anything and everything. Rust, he just use a log and he'd put his things on, and then we do it like that. Karen's gonna hunt. He's gonna kill. He's gonna find. He's gonna be the hero in the cave as we're trying to find the resources.
Bodyguard type feel. Like I enjoy that stuff.
It's like something for everyone. There's a role for each kind of player, and you can find your own world within the Black Death, which is really exciting. It's available now on Steam Early Access.
Yep, that's right.
And people can go obviously check that out on Steam. Sadly, that is all we've got time for the Black Death. Thank you for showing it off to us today. And thank you everyone for joining us so far here on the Twitch stage, live from EGX. We've still got more content. I think we've got of Kings and Men coming next. So stick around. Don't be changing channel. Don't go anywhere else. Keep it here live on Twitch.
Cool.
Woo! Yay!
Cool. Awesome.